Sure, let me get that.
Yeah, we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Jesse James and the Cassidy kid are back. It is me, Omar, and this is Free. What's up, what's up, Free? What's going on, my brother?
God, man, I've been busy. Work's really laying it down on me, and so has school. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like during February, everybody wants everything from me all at once. I mean,
Well, I've been trying to stay alive. I've been 5 or 6 weeks, man. I don't know. I got some respiratory problems, man. Wow, man. I think I died almost 3 times, man. You know, when your lung just, it's like you're chasing your breath, man. You can't explain it. It's like your body just comes out, man. So I was coughing.
yeah, you got to fight through it, man.
Ooh,
You've got the vaccinations for every like major virus and disease, right?
I got both. It's not the COVID. I thought it was COVID.
Yeah.
I had I'm immunized, but it's not. It's just something. It got triggered. And I did some issues with my lungs. I still got to go check them out. I'm taking steroids, which cleared up my lungs, man. I couldn't breathe nothing. I was like a lot of junk in it. Now I'm good. I'm glad to see you, man. I'm glad I'm here. Let's hope we have a good show today. What's up? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm glad to see you alive, man, too. So nobody, even in my immediate family, would shut up about this story. I mean, they were talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. So I'm gonna pull up the headline right now.
What's that?
And yeah, oh my God, I just cannot stop hearing about it. So, U.S. downs a flashpoint in tensions. So I'm just going to skim off the top here and read a brief summary of the article. So the U.S. military on Saturday shot down a suspected off the Carolina coast on orders from President Joe Biden after it traversed sensitive military sites across North America, the latest flashpoint in tensions between Washington and Beijing. Biden wanted the balloon downed on Wednesday, but was advised that the best time for the operation would be when it was over water, U.S. officials said. Military officials determined that bringing it down over land from an altitude of 60,000 feet would pose an undue risk to people on the ground. One more sentence here. The presence of the balloon in the skies above the U.S. this week dealt a severe blow to already strained U.S. relations that have been in a downward spiral for years. I mean, this is worrying, man. And this is really, really worrying.
Well, first of all, it's a silly thing because they have satellites they could watch without. They don't need a balloon. That's one thing. And second thing, it didn't make no sense for China to send the balloon. And I knew it right away. I tweeted. I said they're gonna wait until it's safely over water, either to try to bring it down so they know what kind of technology it has, or blow it up on top of water in case you never know. Maybe it has weapons or anything in there. The military is being smart and safe. They don't want to look stupid bombing their own cities. And to spy with a balloon, that's the silliest shit I ever heard. It's like 18 miles. It goes 18 miles an hour. I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand because they have satellites that could go around the Earth in 60 minutes, I think I heard, and take picture of everything. So it was just a right-wing talking point. Oh, the balloon.
Beijing Biden. Yeah, guy shot it down. What do you have to say now? They kept on saying Biden is owned by man. He's cucked to the as if Trump didn't, actively serve their interests when he was in office. Not to mention the fact that him and his sons have multiple bank accounts, I'm pretty sure, based in under the control of the CCP. But to get back to this matter specifically, a lot of people wanted it shot down, and Biden did that. In terms of the move, I think if they were gonna do meteorology and they were gonna tell the U.S. government, okay, this is for meteorological purposes, we're not gonna spy on you, we're not gonna do anything nefarious, then I think they should have taken it up with America. But I kind of think it's a blunder on their part because people are intimidated by what they don't understand. And if they see this freaking UFO looking thing, like what is this white ball in the sky that's just drifting across at 8 miles an hour? I mean, that's gonna look suspicious one way or another. So look, on the one hand, I'm somewhat glad he downed it because because Republicans were using this as ammunition. Beijing Biden, he's cucking the yeah. But also, I hope relations with aren't escalated because of this.
First of all, people don't understand that it must have been a mistake. First of all, it was a public relation issue, and it was just a talking point for the assholes who have no agendas on our right side. And China, by doing that, especially at this time with relations are very tense, you don't need to bring a balloon, because ordinary people, they react to ordinary things. They don't know being spied every day and every minute with satellites in space, because they don't. What you don't see, you don't worry about. But when the average person in Missouri or Mississippi looks up in the sky, oh, the is on top of us, that's a problem. And they just shoot it down. And people, is not that big monster. It needs the United States. If the United States was to pull all of its investments like they did in Russia in one day, they will have a famine. Because the Chinese changed their way. They moved from rural farming to factory working. And if these factories leave, these people have nothing. There's no food. There's no nothing. You understand? So it's just a boogeyman. It's a boogeyman. There's nothing there. They're losing about 500,000 people a year. The economy depends on the United States and on Western countries. And they already saw what happened to Russia. They fuck around. The United States is not some scary country or scared of anything. They just do things a smart way. They were patient. You see, they waited until the top of the wall and they shut it down. It was more of a public relation, I think, than it is. And what it did is it caused a lot of it distracted from the success of the job. You know, the jobs, 500,000 jobs this quarter. The economy is doing great. 11.4 million jobs in the last 2 years. The unemployment is down since 1969. Hasn't been in 50 years or 52 years.
Yeah, lowest in half a century.
Yeah, so you know you got to give credit where credit is due, but you know they're not giving this guy credit. Oh, he's half dead. So I mean, he's still doing. He's better than the other asshole who spent most of his time. Are we gonna wear masks? We're not wearing masks. We're fighting over masks all over the United States while people are dying in hospitals and nursing homes.
Bleach will fix you right up if you have COVID. You know, pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal and you know trying his absolute best to start another war. You know, not only bombing Syria, but, you know, unprovoked killing an Iranian general. I mean...
He got paid for that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Of course and also giving the Saudis as much money as they want to bomb, you know, your country.
They give $2 billion to jail. What do you think? That was the payment right there.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. He had no issue with that guy. All of a sudden, he decided to kill him.
Yeah. He was talking a big game about, you know, how... well, Biden too. They were both talking a big game about how, you know, oh, we're going to hold the Saudis accountable for killing an American journalist, and nothing came of that. Because they literally dismembered Jamal Khashoggi. And what happens? Absolutely nothing. They look the other way. So much corruption in D.C. It's unspeakable. But here's a more in-depth look about the... Let me close out this tab. Open this one up and... present it. Here we go. Skip this ad. Ah, you can't skip this one. Damn it. Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Lindsay Davis with ABC News headquarters in New York. We're coming on the air at this hour with breaking news. Just moments ago, the U.S. shut down a suspected off the coast of the Carolinas. A recovery operation is now underway. There have been calls for the U.S. to take this kind of action since the balloon's discovery was first announced on Thursday.
You hear it?
When asked if the U.S. would shoot it down.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. All right.
President Biden said we'll take care of it. Defense officials say the balloon was first spotted in U.S. airspace over Alaska, then seen over Montana.
They were constantly hammering him about Beijing Biden. He ain't gonna shoot this down. Next day.
Wednesday, where a brief aviation ground stop was ordered as defense officials considered shooting down the balloon. They decided to hold off, ultimately citing safety concerns for those on the ground. The balloon continued moving across the country, last seen over the Carolinas. Primarily a weather balloon that had floated into American airspace by force majeure.
According to them, you know.
Beyond their control. U.S. officials repeatedly said, though, that was not true, calling it a high-altitude surveillance balloon. The incident, of course, further sours relations between the world's superpowers. Secretary of State Antony Blinken...
Oh, I think it just popped. See that?
Relations between the world's superpowers. Secretary of State Antony Blinken postponing...
I was hoping they'd be done, see what kind of technology it has.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're probably going to keep that classified for a while, you know?
Yeah. Or probably going to self-explode, you know?
Yeah.
Colonel Steve Ganyard. Steve, what are officials going to be looking for at this point? And can you explain the delay in taking this action?
Yeah, Lindsay, they're going to be looking for the payload. The balloon's been taken care of. It's no longer a factor. But what they're going to look for is the payload that was attached underneath. We saw at least 16 solar panels that would have been powering the sensors that the U.S. believes was beaming data back to. You can be assured there's U.S. Navy and Coast Guard ships down below in the ocean waiting for that impact of that payload to start looking for the pieces to put that together to figure out what the with this balloon over the U.S.
Steve Ganyard, we thank you so much, and we do want to say that this video that we're looking at right now is courtesy of Fox News. Be sure to stay with ABC News and abcnews.com. I'm Linda Davis. We'll be back later with World News Tonight.
All right. So, I don't know if we want to watch more, but I hope they're not up to something really malicious.
They're on the United States. They're not in no position. Don't believe the boogeyman. Boogeyman. The United States holds all the cards economically, military. They don't have no. Depend on the United States investment on Apple alone. You understand what I'm saying, Free?
Yeah.
They don't make anything. All the stuff they make is either stolen technology or American investments. You know how many trillions and hundreds of trillions of dollars American money's in running around and keeping the economy propped up?
Yeah, it's all American money, American labor that they're outsourcing.
They pull out the same way they did from Russia one day when McDonald's closed, 800 restaurants and Starbucks 700 restaurants, everything, but everybody just left and say and they forfeited billions and billions of dollars in investment. That's it. They moved from a rural farming economy to a factory-driven economy. So people are not planting foods like they used to, dependent on the land to eat. They are dependent on economic income. They need cash in their hand to buy from stores. So if you pull that away from them, it's over. You will create a famine right away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm starting to think, you know, there's a debate in me between, you know, like threat or, you know, they pose somewhat of a threat on an espionage level, but I keep on thinking to myself on this side, you know, we're their greatest customer, and without our business, they have absolutely nothing to go off of. They'll have to buy more from that Eurasian sphere with Putin in Central Asia and, you know, investors in Southeast Asia. Their money is a bit less stable than, you know, American investments. And I keep on thinking to myself, you know, if we pull our money out,
that's it. It's over.
They're gone.
Yeah. Look at if you go back 40 years ago, this unorganized country with no real factory base, nothing. They had nothing. Poor. They had people under the poverty line, more than 500 million people. But they've been able to lift more than 300 million people out of the poverty line due to foreign investment. They make things for free. They work like, you know, they work for $1 an hour, $2 an hour, $3 an hour for Nike, for Apple, for all these American companies, for all foreign companies invested. Once that money leaves, especially one time, it doesn't matter. It will collapse under its own weight. Because what do they make? They make 99 cents item for what? For Walmart? And for the 99 cent store. What do you buy? You don't go to the, let me get a have you ever went there? Oh, let me get a car. You never did that. Have you done that? Huh? No. What do they make? Nothing. Just cheap stuff. And it doesn't even belong to them. It belongs to American factories, American-owned factories.
It's RIP.
Yeah, the only problem is that I don't like corporate America when they're building up an enemy for us to make a profit. Once that enemy becomes dangerous, like a Frankenstein, they, oh, the monster's coming. But you made that monster. Yeah,
and all your investments are still there overseas.
Yeah, for profit.
Making the widgets cheaper than American workers demand.
They have,
like,
1 million Muslims, 2 million Uyghurs. You know, the Uyghurs, they're all in camps.
It's an absolute genocide. I mean, it's a bloodbath. Yeah, and our money, well, like, you know, our corporate money, which, you know, we really don't have, you know, any control over the decisions these mega conglomerates make. Their money is there, and, you know, people are mostly silent about this. You know, obviously, you know, there's Uyghur activist groups, but if we just brought back manufacturing, and not in, you know, this performative way like Trump said he was gonna do, you know, where he just, you know, got a few million jobs out of there, then immediately lost those jobs to COVID, and then did nothing about it.
He was such an idiot. I'm sorry, Free. He was such an idiot. He put tariff on their products. He said, "We're making, we're paying the American. You are paying." And what they did is they started buying soybeans, and they killed the whole farming industry here. And we had to subsidize the farmers. What he was doing is he was taking money from us who buy the dumb stuff, and taking our money from tariff and giving it to the farmers. So we're not winning anything. The whole idea is, you heard of the term decoupling? Decoupling?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Well, it's an economic term for us. We're a couple right now. We're almost like a couple economically. They want to like it's like a divorce. They are working on a divorce. They want to decouple and they want to separate all that entanglement they had on all that interdependent, because the United States realized in the end they were building a monster for the future. You understand? Yeah, they thought they were going to change it. They didn't change them. They thought they were going to give them capitalism, economic prosperity. It's still communism, whatever you want to call it. Oh, especially with this guy, what's his name? Xi?
Xi Jinping.
Yeah, he's president for life. At least they had something they used to meet every 10 years. They elect a different guy. They have some sort of change. I mean, you don't need that, man. But, you know, the shameful thing is that everybody was like, you know, it's like, gotcha. American, oh, look, we got the balloon. We scared to get it. We scared to hit it.
We beat him. Mission accomplished.
Where's the unity? Where's the unity? What about if they invade us? What are they going to say? Oh, we will let Biden fight them. What the hell is wrong with these people, man? These are sick son of a BS.
Yeah.
People, man.
I mean, it's so obvious they want another war. You know, with as bat crap insane as Trump's foreign policy was, and with, you know, how they're propping up the next, you know, international threat. Now, they did this with, you know, India, then Middle Easterners and Pakistan especially, and, you know, in the 80s it was the Japanese. You know, who again just have all our investments. You know, it's sort of the same thing. It's always an Asian guy, man. I mean, are they jealous or something? I don't know. But anyway, that's that. I hope these just don't spiral out of control.
They're not going to spiral. They know. The only thing the issue is that what they're doing is, I like happy. Hold on, give me a second. All
right, yeah.
Give me a second.
I'll pull up the next thing.
Okay.
All right. So, the kill.